Hey guys, Rob, Sigma 3 Survival School. We're out doing the intensive instructor class today. Month-long course. Enables you to basically come teach weekend classes and basic courses for us until we get, till you're like on Josh's or my level or whatever. And what we're doing right now is we're taking, we had the previous version. We like the larger style debris shelter for heated. But if I'm going to do a body heated version of this shelter, then I want to shrink it down to where it's really conformed around my body, just like a sleeping bag. So we're just basically going to trim off this end. We're going to trim the bipod a little bit and just really bring this down to where you can barely just kind of squeeze into it. So something really important to remember, is that we obviously, you build one side, you do your transition, and then you throw your leaves in before you actually put your other side on. Now in this second shelter, the mummy style shelter versus the heated shelter, we need to really sink everything down. But let's say that I wanted to take the heated version and make it more like this. You can actually create like a little rafter by basically strapping a stick all the way across on both sides and then running a little platform, and you can shove leaves up in there. So typically I like to make my debris huts a little bit more voluminous on the inside because you can always add things to them, but if you make it so small, then there's not a whole lot of room for adjustment. So one of the tricks with the debris hut is it's real important to maintain a certain pitch with your leaves. If the steepness of your roof is too shallow and not straight up and down enough, then you're going to start to get leaks. Now there's a lot of different ways we can adjust the pitch, and it depends on what kind of materials we're working with. But I like to take the stuff that's at the base and make the base thinner, and really, because you're most likely going to have a leak up here at the top. So I like to have it thickest at the top and then slightly thin it down towards the bottom. So as I'm building it, I'll start shaping it in the way that I want. And if I want to have a more voluminous debris shelter, the more you flare it out and the bigger you make it on the inside, the more likely it is to leak. But I can kind of fix some of my issues with that if I slope my debris properly and get everything up here on the top so that there's a real steep runoff. Okay, so now that we've got the debris shelter, or at least this section of it, pretty much completed, you're going to try to put as much debris as you can on it. 1.5 to 2 foot is kind of the minimum in order to make sure that it's going to be completely waterproof. Now, if you don't have time, guys, in a survival situation, you can skimp on this stuff. You can cut corners and, you can afford to have a couple of drips in there. But if you want a perfect shelter that's not going to get, any water on you whatsoever, that can take 5-gallon buckets dumped on it, then you need 2 feet. And this is still a little bit sparse. But the next step is to take a couple of Y-sticks, drive them into the ground, and then just make a little bit of a frame right here. And I call it just making a foyer, just like you'd have in your house. It's a hallway. And that is so that we can block off the main doorway. And you're going to squeeze the size of this down, and you want it just big enough to where your shoulders will fit in it. And the reason for doing this is we're going to jam-pack this entrance with tons and tons and tons of leaf litter, and then we're going to make a circular doorway out of vines that we can draw in and close behind us so that our body heat can heat up the entire shelter. Alright, so we've got enough leaf litter on this, and this is exactly how you want to see it, guys. I can't tell you enough. I see all these pictures of debris huts all over the internet, and 90% of them that I see are total trash. They leak, they're not warm, there's just not enough materials used. Debris huts take time. If you're going to build one of these shelters, then you need to build it properly. You need to have enough debris. Otherwise, if you get yourself caught in a rainstorm or something like that, you're going to end up getting wet in the night. So remember, at least 2 feet of debris. We want to pack a whole bunch of leaves up here in the front so that we've got something to drag back in with us, and try to close off these sections with leaves. I just wanted to show you all that. We're going to close that up in the next video. And the next step is, and we're going to do this in the next part, is we're going to show you how to make a door. And this one's a little bit run down, so we'll do a little bit of maintenance on this one, but it's nothing more than some vines and weaving things together, and if you want to, you can tie it all together with a little bit of cordage. So stay tuned for the next part, and as always, thank you for your commentary. Share, like, and subscribe. And from now on, guys, if you've got a legitimate question that you want answered, try to post it in our survival forum on the website instead of just making comments down at the bottom. We tend to get more to the forum stuff than we do for the comments. So, as always, appreciate it. Sigma 3 out.